Hey, this is Jen Johans at filmintuition.com and Film Intuition on social media and Letterboxd. And this is Watch with Jen. It's always a joy to have my good friend Jed Ayres with me. Jed and I have looked at all kinds of stuff together on this podcast. Everything from Mr. In Between to extreme sports crime movies to 90s crime remakes of classics. We've done Elmore Leonard westerns, Carol Reed, all kinds of stuff. Jed is a man who wears many hats, and I love that about him. He is a cinephile, a wonderful writer, also a novelist. He wrote Fierce Bitches, but now you can read his stuff a lot of times in essays that come with physical media releases, so always look for that for Jed. And he also is somebody that if you run a podcast, you are very lucky to get him because he would be the top guest, I think. He's one of those people where we played movie trivia, and it was like if Sean Burns and Jed or William Boyle are on if they're on the same team, nobody has a chance, basically, because you guys, it'd be interesting to have you square off against each other. You're all so brilliant at it. So Jed, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. That's so nice to hear you say nice things about me. I don't
Of
get to
course.
hear that much.
Of
Um,
course. I'll be your hype man. Yes.
yeah, well, I'll come on the podcast anytime you want to say something nice about me.
You bet. Anytime you have any ideas, we're kicking around a lot of ideas lately, which I like. Yes, and Jed should be back in a few weeks as we're recording this to record another one along with Jordan Harper and Priscilla Page on Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So I'm excited about that. It just kind of dawned on me one day driving around running errands, like I've never done the Planet Hollywood guys on this show, and I pitched it, and who doesn't love Arnold? So that's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I had a really good time hanging with you guys, the same crew doing Jean-Claude Van Damme a couple years ago. That was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it was kind of like the last hurrah for America because it was the night before the election. So it was like, I think Priscilla called it like the last good time.
hmm
Yeah, it's kind of the joke, but it was so much fun, and we were a great mix of people, because we're very good friends, and, yeah, it was wonderful. And so when we were coming up with ideas, I have to say Jed pitched a few. I liked several of the ideas, so we're going to have to revisit some of them for sure. And this one I thought was really creative on movies that are like games of death, essentially, like Most Dangerous Game, or movies where, you could die playing them, The Running Man, all of those kind of films. And Jed, being Jed, put together a letterbox list of a lot of titles. I tried to pick a few that I thought people had seen that were very popular, but I also love that you chose one I had not seen. That was an indie that was easily overlooked. That was really clever. So I'm excited to talk about that with you. But before we do that, I'd like to know your thoughts on this genre.
You know, I think it goes back. It may predate 1932's The Most Dangerous Game, directed by Irving Pichel and Ernest Shozak. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but
You're
that's
fine.
it's based on a short story, and the short story has been adapted many times. We already talked about John Woo's Hard Target with Jean-Claude
Yes.
Van Damme. So we won't be talking about that one today, but everybody go listen to that Jean-Claude Van Damme
Yes.
episode. It's a lot of fun, and of course, Hard Target's a great movie. But yeah, The Most Dangerous Game is kind of the boilerplate, kind of the template for these kinds of films. And if you've never seen the 1932 version, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous black and white photography. I see that Amazon's got like a colorized version. I took a look at that too, and it's honestly it's not terrible, but
Yeah.
so much of the charm of this movie is the black and white, the really great special effects. There's a shipwreck. There's jungle adventure. There's a wonderful shot of the camera like going through all this fauna in the jungle as the count is stalking his prey that have washed up on the shore of his island. But it's a very influential story and a very influential film. You know, it's this rich guy, this guy on an island who imagines himself a very sophisticated man of the world who wants to, he's seen it all, he's done it all, and he's a hunter. He's passionate about hunting, and he's bored with hunting animals. He wants to hunt human beings because he thinks there's intellectual stimulation to be had
Hmm.
you know, taking on someone who can think like he can. So he has this island where he puts out the lights, the the coast lights, and lets ships wreck on the island. He takes in the survivors and then he hunts them one at a time. So uh, got a lot of great adventure stuff in it. I would recommend anybody seeing it, but it's really hard to talk about this genre that
Yeah.
we're defining without going back to that. And I'd be interested if anybody has examples of earlier, not adaptations of that short story, but of this genre. I'm certainly interested in those.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like games of death movies or movies where playing a game results in death, of course. Basically we're looking at like They Shoot Horses, Don't They? And
Hmm.
Rollerball and all of these other movies that kind of incorporate it. But what's good about the ones that sort of derive from Most Dangerous Game and from that short story that I remember reading in high school. We read it and then I think we watched the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was pointing out all of the, cause this was the 90s, like there was just Hard Target. And, yeah, so that dates me basically. But I thought this was kind of cool. And I didn't know if you wanted to read off some of the titles that you compiled for your letterbox list.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, absolutely one of my favorites that we're not talking about because it's not really available.
Yeah.
I got it on DVD from the library, I don't know, several years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and I can't find it anymore.
Oh.
Um, is a film called 13 Zametti,
Oh my
which,
gosh, Jametti. Yes,
yeah,
I actually almost texted you about that because I think it's available on Canopy. Um, yeah.
I don't see it available through my Canopy,
Oh, okay. Well, I
but
know I saw it somewhere. But yeah, it is really good. It was powerful. Guy Ritchie remade it. But it wasn't as good. Or no, wait, it wasn't Guy Ritchie. It felt like
it,
a Guy Ritchie. It had
it
Jason
did.
Statham, but it was the same filmmaker. Yes.
It was, yeah, and it was really, I would in fact encourage you to avoid the star-studded remake,
Yes.
uh, because the original is really so much more
Oh my
powerful. And
God, I know.
I feel if you watch the lesser version, you won't be interested in seeing the original. And it's hard to believe that a cast like Jason Statham, Mickey Rourke, Ray Winstone, Alexander Skarsgård, Gabby Hoffman, Michael Shannon,
Yeah.
that it's a bad one, but it's
Yeah.
really not good.
It kind of shows you how much they respected the original, that they wanted to do it.
Yeah,
And I think, it's like, oh yes, I love that. Yeah. I think the weirdest, movie swag, I have a lot of weird movie swag, but I had that shirt when it came out. I think I got it
Oh
through like
man.
working at the film festival, and I would have to explain it to people. It was like, they just gave it to me, and I hadn't even seen the movie when I wore it once, and then I'm like, yeah, it's a movie, and then I saw it, and I'm like, whoa, okay, it's a loaded tee. Yes,
It's so intense and
it really is.
genuinely upsetting, but also stylish and really a shame that it didn't translate to a better
Yeah.
remake. Um, if you like, I think actually revisited Rob Zombie's 31 for this, which if
Okay.
you if
I
you
haven't
like
seen it.
if you like Rob Zombie, then this is a lot of people who like Rob Zombie don't like this one as much.
Okay.
And I understand not liking this one as much. It really is, pretty much uh, just kind of all the things he's always accused of being. It's just
He excels at
exploitation.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, as an aesthetist piece, it's pretty great if you like his stuff. I think Mel Gibson's Apocalypto counts for this. It's a pretty
Yeah.
stunning
I
film, and the back half is the Game of Death, where they're hunting him
Yeah,
through the
I haven't
jungle.
seen
And
that in forever. That's a good pick, Jed. Yeah.
yeah, um, Kinji Fukasaku's Battle Royale, I'm sure we'll talk about
Brilliant.
some.
Yes.
And oh, I
Go
don't
Go
know.
Yubari. Yes.
Yeah. I even watched the Jess Franco porno version, Countess Perverse,
Okay.
uh, which is not surprisingly hard to find, but
Gotcha.
not great. But if you're into Jess Franco stuff, then you might like that. There was
Okay.
that Cube series. Do you remember Cube from the late 90s?
I remember
Um,
the names, but I'm like, I don't remember the movies. Yeah.
yeah, sort of a proto Saw where it's a
Oh, yeah,
sci-fi
yeah.
thing.
hmm
Yeah.
I think that's
And
probably why I steered clear. Yeah.
yeah, that's, I think Saw counts. I think Saw's a
Yeah.
interesting take on the Game of Death. Uh,
Yeah. I have never seen the Purge movies. I know a couple people who like
mhm.
them and think that they're, cultural, allegories or something, but most
Yeah.
people I know are not fans. What is your take on that series?
Oh, I fucking love the Purge movies.
Okay. Do
I
you
have
have a
not seen the
favorite of
TV
them?
show. Probably not the first one.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Maybe the second one,
Okay.
or the third. They do start tying together. They do start having some overlapping characters, which for this series, I don't know that was a great move.
Okay, gotcha.
As far as exploitation films that can serve a purpose. I think they're pretty good.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, I should check one out. Maybe I'll start with like two or three. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Brian Taylor and Mark Nevilledean's Gamer, starring Gerard
That
Butler.
was very good. I remember seeing that when it came out.
It was yeah. Every time I've seen it maybe two or three times before, and I watched it again a few weeks ago, and the first like 20 minutes or so, I'm going, man, why do I remember liking this movie so much? This is pretty, it's just kind of what you expect from watching
Yeah.
the trailers, and it's not very interesting. But after it sort of leaves the first 20 minutes or so, it just gets weirder and more gross and perverse, which Taylor and Neville Dean are really good at. And it gets very creative too. I don't
hmm
want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
that's that
We
that's a
still need
great
to
one.
do, and I'll bring you on like a big Gerard Butler episode. Bring on Bilge
Sure.
Ebiri,
Oh
who is like
yeah.
Bilge's, kind of a buff on it, and bring you on, and we'll talk Gerard Butler. Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost said Gerard Depardieu. Boy,
I
that
heard
would
that.
be a strange double feature. Yeah, those actors. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
beyond gamer, what else do you have for us?
Oh, Running Man, I think, is a great one.
Yeah, I
I
just saw the remake. I was not a huge fan of that one. But I wasn't a big fan of the original, but I love
yeah.
Arnold and of course growing up in the 80s it was always on. So yes.
Well, it's the first Arnold movie I loved, and
Okay, cool.
I had not been, I had not seen, I was aware of him, but hadn't seen a lot. But I saw the Running Man, and it blew me away. And if you
Gotcha.
like Arnold's Running Man, there's a German film called The Million Game, which I don't know where you can
Okay.
find it. There is a version on YouTube that looks great, but it's in
Ooh,
German.
okay.
But if
I
you've seen The
wonder if like
Running
with an
Man,
app or something you might be able to, yeah, translate that. Yep.
yeah, well, I put it on hoping that it was in English, and it was not, but I watched the whole thing because it
Okay.
was so cool to look at. And
Yeah.
I realized how much the Schwarzenegger version of The Running Man really seemed to come from this. This was a
Okay.
1970 made for TV German film that was anyway,
That sounds
lots
good.
of great colors and
Yeah.
outlandish. It's got like the fake ads and things like that in it. Sort of proto Running Man, proto
Yeah.
Verhoeven stuff. So yeah, good stuff. There's some Western
Definitely.
versions, there's a Western version of the most dangerous game called Bloodlust that was pretty good. There's, I don't know about A Man Called Horse, but that might come into play.
Okay.
It's been a long, long
I
time.
haven't seen it in years. Yeah.
Yeah. Squid Game, of course, is recent.
Yeah.
That's it. Tron, I think, counts.
Oh, Tron. I forgot about that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian Trenchard Smith's Turkey Shoot
Okay.
is good. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of good stuff that obviously we're not really going to get to, but I
For
it's a fun genre.
yeah, for further viewing, everyone. And I'm sure people are going to chime in with other ones that they enjoy online, and I hope
Yeah.
you do. Because I always like seeking out new stuff. I'm sure Jed's probably seen it, but definitely bring it up. Uh,
Hmm.
hit reply and let us know. But for this, we went with the Hunger Games just because it is so huge. I thought that way we can talk a little bit about like Battle Royale and some of these other things and how they feed into that. I always say the title Ready or Die, and that is not it at all. I don't know why in my head it's that way. But Ready or Not, I did not see the sequel. But I remember I liked it more than I did rewatching it, but we have that one. And then Self-Reliance, that was the one that was totally new to me, so I can't wait to talk to you about that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
So I never read the Hunger Games books. I was too old for them. I know you were too. We're around the same age group. And but I did like this version. I thought, the strongest thing about it, of course, is Jennifer Lawrence. Weirdest fact I learned today is I guess Steven Soderbergh. It's directed by Gary Ross, but Steven Soderbergh was a second unit director on it, and he pretty much
Oh,
single-handedly did the whole riot sequence because I think it was such a monster shoot. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I really love the cast in this movie. It's even some of the smaller roles like you wouldn't expect. Lenny Kravitz is in it. Paula Malcolmson, who I always thought was
yeah.
wonderful on like Sons of Anarchy and other shows. She's in here. Yeah. So I enjoy this one. I think I remember the second one being better.
I watched these with my kids
Okay.
when they were, when they came on DVD,
Yeah.
and my kids were, probably on the young end to be watching them when I
Yeah.
showed it to them.
It
But
worked.
but yeah, I mean, as far as movies you watch with your kids because they're excited about it, these definitely I enjoyed them, and I have
Yeah,
not come back to them until last night. I watched Hunger Games again, and it remains for me kind of a mixed bag.
I agree.
It does
Yeah,
it
gets a
does
little long.
does feel you know like it's YA roots kind of
Yeah.
show. Um,
Yeah, it gets a little too much exposition and people having to explain everything. Yeah.
But had this come out when I was the target
Oh my
audience,
gosh.
I
Yeah.
bet it would have been one of my favorite films. So I don't hold it against anybody for it being one of theirs, but
Yeah.
it is such a cultural phenomenon, and I think it's interesting to wonder why. I remember when the last one came out. I think was it 2014, 2015, or maybe it was the
There's
next to
like a
last one.
new spin-offy one
Okay.
that just came out, but I've not seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
The original
original.
trilogy. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
actually there were four of them because
or yeah,
yeah.
but the yeah, I remember just feeling the one that came out in 2014. I guess that was Mockingjay Part One,
Okay.
and it has to do with the revolution going on, and
Yeah.
and and I remember I live in St. Louis, and we were having riots about
Yes.
over a shooting
Yeah.
of a kid in North City by a police officer, and it was the disconnect to me between this Mockingjay movie being like the most popular thing, the biggest box
Oh,
office
that's interesting.
of the year, and all the, really reactionary stuff from,
Yeah.
a lot of my neighbors and
Yeah.
friends that I
Yeah.
thought were, I
I
thought
know. It's been
were,
such an eye-opening bad
yeah,
experience that way. Yes.
like, oh my God, how do you not,
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is the mainstream popular film,
Yeah.
and yet everybody
To
seems
be missing that. That
right.
I know. Yeah.
So
Comprehension and not really bringing it up forward. Yeah. But
yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. That is an interesting aspect, I think, of this genre is the potential, like you said, even The Purge, as much as it's like, yeah, it's an exploitation movie, it's a horror movie, to be able to kind of work in some of these ideas. I think there was one called The Hunt, which
Uh-huh.
was also polarizing to people that kind of had similar things. But even something like the Hunger Games movie series and book series is commenting on society and some of the things and history, of course. The cast is so good. I think the one having like the most fun in the entire movie has to be Woody Harrelson, right?
Oh, I think so. Well, unless it's Stanley Tucci. I mean, the two of
Oh my
them
gosh,
are,
yes. I love the hair they give
yeah,
Stanley Tucci. Yes, I think that would have just made his day. Sometimes with actors, it's about the hair. As soon as they get the hair, they just become that person. And yeah, so I do have to say, I also really liked seeing Wes Bentley in something because I'm a big fan of P2. I will exhaust everyone and recommend that to everyone. And so it's good to see, Wes in some things, and the character's fate and what happens is really, it's a good watch. And Donald Sutherland, Toby Jones, I mean, who doesn't like seeing these guys either? Elizabeth Banks, great.
hmm
Hmm.
yeah, no, incredible cast. I will be curious in years to come as the generation
Yeah.
that this was aimed at, both the film and the books, as they, are now adults and, in another 10, 15 years start to maybe take on more leadership roles in
Yeah.
society. How that'll shape, having that. I mean, I don't want to put too much
No, but it's
too
true.
much
Yeah.
weight on these films, but there, for my generation, it was probably Star Wars, and there were, similar sort of
Yeah.
thing with the rebel, the Empire and the guerrilla forces.
And early 80s with the Cold War scare,
Yeah,
some of those movies.
sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think my generation has, really heeded the
No.
call so much. In fact, those Star Wars culture has become
Yeah.
pretty overrun
Yes.
by the bad guys. But I'm curious to see if how
That's a
things
really good
like Hunger
point.
Games play out. Unfortunately, histories perhaps we'll just develop an actual Hunger Games, a literal Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Mr. Beastify the whole thing. So
Yes, it's a very alarming, but it's true. I mean, on kind of a lighter, but the same, the same point. I saw this comedian's, thing on Instagram that people were sharing yesterday where he was talking about he was disappointed. He thought as an adult, based on reading The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and Boxcar Children and all those books, that he would be solving a lot more mysteries than he is now. And he's like, they would wake up, they would go to the store, there'd be a dead body. They're on a 6-hour quest and I don't have any quests. And it was, it's funny and stuff, but it does, what you read and what you're exposed to as a kid definitely shapes you. So I think that is a good point about the Hunger Games. Cause I mean, even if they can't correlate the morals and things from the movie to real, like, it is still a part of their building blocks. So I think that is
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. My kids were they were more, a couple of years after this when I don't think they read the Hunger Games, but
Okay.
they did read the Maze Runner series.
Oh yeah,
And
that was really
they
popular.
and we went to those movies, and I think Maze Runner probably counts, at least the
Yeah.
first one, as Game of Death
Hmm.
stuff. So that that they were really into that, and I did enjoy taking them. Like we went to the theater to see those movies as they came out, and they were very into that, and so.
That's
Uh,
cool.
yeah, so these
Yeah.
things are cool. Now, of course, when it came out, when the books, Suzanne Collins books came out, I was actually a bookseller at the time, and I remember, I wasn't reading them, but was taking notice that they were big sellers.
Yes.
And as I looked into it, I of course thought of
Battle
uh,
Royale.
Battle Royale, the Kenji Fukasaku
Yes.
film based on the popular manga uh, series, which I've not read, but but certainly Battle Royale was a huge, well, I say a
Cultural
huge moment.
phenomenon. Yeah. Yeah.
But I watched it again and just a few weeks ago, and I thought, it. I enjoyed watching it. It did have a lot of great set pieces and
Yeah.
things like that in it. But I remember it hit differently than the first time I saw it back when it was new. It was,
Oh,
it
that
was
was way shocking. I
it
agree
was
with you. Yes.
so shocking to see children
Yeah.
committing violent acts again and
Because
see
that
them
was only
dying.
after a couple of school shootings,
Yeah,
basically. Like, and now we're so desensitized. Yeah.
totally desensitized. Watching it now, I'm pretty much laughing at the gore effects, and which are great effects, and they're good scenes. But I was like, wow, talk about something that has totally lo-
Changed.
changed the way it feels when we
Yeah.
see it now. Yeah, it's worth seeing, but yeah, not the sort of really shocking, disturbing experience it was when it was brand new.
I agree. Yeah, I saw it again, I want to say like during the pandemic, or it had been a while, and then I rewatched, and I kind of had the same experience. Like, oh, this is, our senses are a little more dulled to it. I think it was around the time that there was like a shooting by a grocery store in Denver. It was like around that time. And
Hmm.
it was just like, oh, this just happens now. And what a horrible thing that we've like, you're never used to it, but you're used to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think, that movie did bring in, I mean, everyone who's seen Kill Bill knows,
Oh
that's where,
yeah.
yeah, Gogo Yubari came from. But I also think it did sort of influence a lot of these things that followed, like even like Hunger Games, Divergent, all of these. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe get Jordan Harper on to do a Kinji Fukasaku episode sometime because
Sure.
it's not the movie I think of when I think of his stuff. I think of his Yakuza films first,
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely a late career Big Bang for him.
for sure. And then I think chronologically, Ready or Not is the next one, Samara
Hmm.
Weaving. That I remember enjoying a lot more with the first time I saw it because again, it's just such a lot of these don't play as well because the element of surprise is gone, of course. That's what
Hmm.
happens with like horror and stuff. But this was a darkly comedic one. Uh, you've got Samara Weaving, Adam Brody, Mark O'Brien, Andy McDowell. I mean, just it's a really interesting mix of people. It kind of reminded me, although I like that one better, of that movie You're Next. But
Yeah.
I really loved You're Next though.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but it kind of
Yeah.
reminded me of that. It's a woman, she gets married. And on the wedding night, finds out, the whole family's around that they're going to play a game and they are going to hunt her. And, can she make it? What is happening? And, it's just shocking and darkly funny, in-laws. And Samara Weaving is great. I think she really goes for it, gung ho. It's cool to see Annie McDowell do something like this. Had you seen it when it was new?
I had seen that was another family film. We watched that when it was new, I guess, and probably it came out in 2019. I think it was probably 2020 during the pandemic. Families all together on the couch. At
Okay.
this
Yeah.
point, my boys are like, you know, one's in high school, one's in middle school, and so
Yeah.
that was a good release release for us. We definitely enjoyed watching that. I watched it again last night, and yeah, as you say, knowing what's coming, which of course, if you've watched the trailer for the movie, you know what's coming, but knowing what's coming up until the very end, the last, reveal is pretty, uh, a reveal that is happening a lot in movies
I agree. Yeah.
recently. So maybe not shocking, but kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um, you know, people hate McGee, and I'm not gonna defend him, but I did enjoy his babysitter movies with Samara Weaving, and there's some
Okay.
similarities. There's some similarities there that I don't want to go into, but
Interesting.
uh, you know, the the enjoyment of these super violent, gory films done as comedies. They work. The first one out the gate usually works pretty well, and
Yep.
then it's diminishing returns as I saw the They Will Kill You, and there's some fun stuff in that, but it's coming on the heels of some of these other films. It's just not standing out the way the first one out the gate gets to. So I don't remember. Was there something else right around this? You mentioned You're Next, the Ty West film, and I do think that is a good comparison. Um, but
It
I mean, there
feels
was
like there
almost,
was another one around this time, though. It does feel like, and I'm just like blanking on
yeah,
what that was. But yeah,
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 they're definitely, Game of Death is, kind of having a moment,
it is.
and uh, yeah, I've absolutely not seen all the stuff. I have not seen the sequel to this. I'm sure I will, but
Yeah, I heard a lot of mixed things on the sequel. I think it was Sean Burns, our friend, and Priscilla Page, and somebody else was bringing up like they really go to town on the violence against women there, and they're like kind of revel in it in a weird way, and or maybe it was somebody was bringing that up that it was like a little disturbing to watch, and and so that was interesting. I would have to go back and find out who said that, but I know it was somebody in my circle of friends that had that idea. And I'm sorry, Sean and Priscilla, if it wasn't you. But I'm just going to put words in people's mouths. No, but it was definitely one of my guests and somebody I know. But yeah, I have not seen the sequel, either. I haven't seen the Babysitter movies. I won't really diss McG. I'm not going to be like a super fan, but I enjoyed the hell out of, the Charlie's Angels movies. So I think
yeah.
he has a place, and he's
Uh,
good at what he does when he does it. Didn't he also do, oh no, that was Doug Liman. I was going to say that Covert Affairs series. I think he
oh, I don't know
directed some
that.
of the small screen stuff for the USA channel, so it kind of had his look and his vibe. Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't tell anybody. I like his Terminator movie too. It's all right.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah, I had to review it and it wasn't terrible. No.
yeah.
No,
Um
we're going to tell people it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's better than some of the ones that came after for
Yes.
sure.
I agree
Uh
with you.
but
Yeah.
I'm curious about Adam Brody because he's this guy that I pretty much only know him from movies where he's playing this sort of apparently counter take on his image. I never watched whatever the TV show was. Was it the OC or
Yes, and now
so,
he's in Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell, and yes,
okay.
exactly. And
So
I
I,
watched a little bit of the OC, but not a ton.
I know him from movies like
The
Promising
Dark Side.
Young Woman and
Yeah.
the remake of The River Wild, and things where he's
That
kind
was
of
actually damn good, I thought, the
yeah,
remake. Yeah.
the stuff where he's playing, he's got a kind of boyish
Yeah.
appearance, and I guess on the he was a charming
Hmm.
guy that the inspired a lot of crushes on his the TV show, but the movies that I've seen him in, he's always they're kind of weaponizing that. I get the feeling they're weaponizing that assumption about him, that people come in with this, oh, he's such a nice guy, he's cute and we like him, and then he turns out to be a real shit in the movies.
I think he
Uh,
loves doing that. Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, good for him, but I'm just saying, I get the feeling that
Hmm.
I'm not appreciating how much of a
Oh, yes.
kind of turn this is for people, but he's good. He's good in Ready or Not. I do like watching him in that, and of course Samara Weaving is kind of she's great to watch, but she's also somebody who's kind of making a thing out of these hyper violent comedic
Yeah.
films, the
She's been
Babysitter
typecast,
films,
man. Yes.
yeah, Guns Akimbo and
Yeah.
Mayhem. I liked a
Mhm.
lot. Even Eeny Meeny from uh, last year or earlier this year.
Mhm.
It, not exactly a hyper violent film, but she was fun in that as a getaway driver. But uh, these violent comedies. There's a new one with Jason Segel. She's in. I forget what that's called, but
Yes, over her dead body, something like
yeah, it
that.
looks kind
Hmm.
of vaguely War of the Roses ish.
Yes, I have
But
yet to see that.
yeah,
But I agree with you. I like Adam Brody. I would also say he's kind of one of those actors, people who are in the same little group I would think of when I would be like, oh, if you can't get Adam Brody, get this guy. Or I would put him together with like Adam Scott and also Topher
Mm.
Grace. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
all three of them are just really good with dialogue because they have this ability to just like punch a word that you're not expecting or turn something. They're good with darkly funny material, very highly verbal actors. Um, I think, yeah. So I do like seeing Adam Brody, especially if all you know him from is the OC or, Nobody Wants This, the new show. Maybe watch one of these little darker things that he did and you'll appreciate his range. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is interesting when you get these actors who are always the nice guy and then they play something and you get to see them really get to sink their teeth into something. Yeah.
I would I'm gonna dig real deep on his filmography and suggest a film called Revenge for Jolly from
Okay. I don't know that
2012.
one.
Yeah, you would not believe the cast on this film. Oscar Isaac, Elijah Wood, Kristen
Wow.
Wiig, Ryan Phillippe, Garrett
My goodness.
Dillahunt, Amy Simons, Kevin Corrigan. I mean, it's just a really stacked cast, and
Hmm.
it's a very, very stupid movie. And I loved it. If you wanted to cross,
Who made it?
Chad Harbold is the
Okay. I was
director's
thinking
name.
like, how did he assemble this cast? But yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, from 2012. So, before Oscar Isaac was, very,
Yeah.
very big, but, it's, I would describe it as John Wick, the first John Wick crossed with, the Greasy Strangler. Just incredibly stupid movie that I thought was very funny, and everybody in it seemed to be having a lot of fun, and it'll
Yeah.
probably be your least favorite movie. If anybody watches it, they'll go, there's a reason why only 12 people like this movie, but I'm one of them. I liked Revenge for Jolly a lot, and Adam Brody
Okay.
was in that.
It's a safe space, Jed. Yeah.
It's
Yes.
you're not
Uh,
this isn't going out public, is it?
yeah. I mean, who listens? Come on. No. And then we have Self-Reliance, another one that probably maybe 12 people have seen at this point, but you really should. I thought this was a clever idea. I kind of feel like they sort of could have gone further with one of the ideas. They had an ending first and then another ending, and I think they had too many endings, and I like what they were doing with one aspect of it. I sound very weird right now, but I am trying not to give spoilers away. But it is a guy, it is Jake Johnson, who is in the New Girl show, which I actually haven't seen. Talk about, yeah, we got a guy who doesn't know the OC, I don't know, New Girl. Jack Johnson, or Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson, I've seen him in some indies. He's always a great presence. I enjoy him a lot. He wrote, directed, produced, and starred in this movie. And along with Anna Kendrick, Natalie Morales, Andy Samberg has a really funny little role in it. And basically he is heartbroken over a long time relationship that ended with Natalie Morales and is stopped by a limo. Hey, for 30 days, if you manage to stay alive while we're hunting you, you get $1 million. And the catch is that he can survive it, the hunt, if he's with somebody at all times. So he has to like find a buddy, ask, his mom, his sister, whoever, his friend. He finds Anna Kendrick, who is, kind of a kindred, to just watch him, and make it through all of this danger that sort of arises. Somebody was comparing it to like an Andy Samberg comedy skit version of The Game, which I thought was a clever take on it. But yeah, I thought this was a really creative indie movie. Usually you imagine some of these guys making one about like relationships or whatever, and it goes through the motions. So I love that they actually tried to do something really unique here.
Yeah, it's you mentioned it felt like an Andy Samberg sketch. Well,
Yeah.
the Lonely Island guys are producers on this
Oh,
film,
there you go.
yeah,
Yep.
so it does have that kind of sensibility to it. Um, my wife watches New Girl, and I have enjoyed kind of catching bits and pieces of it
Oh, good. Okay, I
as
gotta
she's
watch it.
watching
Yeah.
it. So yeah, it's and you know he's fun. I wrote a book called Peckerwood,
Yeah.
and apparently I started getting a bunch of texts and emails about uh, his character on New Girl apparently writes a crime novel called Pepperwood.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and
Okay.
so I started getting a lot of comparisons to like, did you steal that from the New Girl or something? And it's no, it's not the same thing.
Just a
But
coincidence, you
he
guys.
was on my radar for that, and I don't remember how this movie came, why I watched it, but I here's the thing. It's a game of death movie that has rules. I mean, that was one of the main things about
Yeah.
defining this genre, is that there had to be rules to these games, even if the rule is you try to survive, we're gonna try and kill you. The I something like funny games is tangential to
Okay.
this
Yeah.
genre, but I don't think really qualifies because
Mm-mm.
there aren't rules really. There's no way to survive
No.
this game. Uh, it's really just kind of social torture.
Yeah.
But
Sort of
but
like Scream starts out as a movie trivia game when you on the
yeah,
phone, but no, they're not gonna win. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're yeah. Funny Games is more like Home Invaders
You
than
bet.
Game of Death. But Self-Reliance is a Game of Death movie. It's another aspect of this genre that I'm glad we got the picks we got, because they're from three different subsets in this genre. And one of them is, the Hunger Games is the very public and populist game of death. And I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the film, but I'm talking about the game in the film is a very public spectacle. It's a
Like the
popular
World Cup.
entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Um, Ready or Not is private, and
Yes.
there's usually it's rich people.
Yep. Rich weirdos.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's rich people, sometimes it's Satanists, sometimes it's, whoever's got it's private entertainment, or maybe it's a personal values thing that they're working out. But Self-Reliance is kind of in the middle. It is a
That's a
public
really good
thing.
point. Yeah.
It's a dark web TV show. So it's not something that the public knows about really. I mean, a select portion of the public knows about it.
Hmm.
Uh, so he agrees to be a participant in a dark web show that is acted out in public. He, keeps finding cameras around his house. He's really creeped out by how they've managed to infiltrate his life so much that they've got cameras everywhere. Uh, but here, what what I find so charming about Self-Reliance is it's such a Shaggy Dog
It is.
uh, production. Like there's many, you know, holes in the logic and the plot and things like that,
Yeah.
but they don't care. It's a
No.
comedy. It is, using this kind of game of death framework and genre as a sort of metaphor for, his life and relationships and commitments and things like that. You know, your mileage may vary on that kind of stuff, but it's clear that they're not so concerned with sticking to the rules and really,
No, not at all. Mm-mm.
drawing out this, elaborate schemes, and if they make a sequel, then they'd probably have to really get into the minutia of how to the rules and things like that. But it is a pretty charming movie. Jake
Yeah,
Johnson and Anna Kendrick are
very
pretty
charming.
good together. The Biff Whiff who plays the homeless guy that he pays
Oh
to
my God, yes.
stick
Scene
around with him.
stealer.
Yeah, he's great. The all Jake Johnson's family members who don't
Hmm.
believe him, he just comes right out and says, I'm I'm on a game show.
They're trying to kill
They're
me.
trying to kill me, and of course nobody believes him.
They
Everybody
think he's
thinks,
having a psychotic break. Yeah.
or yeah, he just wants attention. He's just
Yeah.
he's lonely, and he's just wants them to hang out with him. And it's great every time he's convinced somebody to hang out with him. They don't really believe why they have to hang out with him, but it's clear that he wants them to hang out.
Yeah.
Fine, they'll hang out, and he relaxes and falls asleep and wakes up and he's all alone, and he bursts in on them in the bathroom because
Oh, yes.
he's like,
Yeah.
"Why did you leave me?"
That was
Because
so insane.
I'm going
Yeah.
to the bathroom. It's like, you can't leave me.
Yeah.
There's a
It's like his sister's boyfriend or husband. Oh my
yeah
God.
yeah. So there's a lot of good jokes like that, and of course
Yeah.
he finds out that the killers all the people who are hunting him tend to all dress up in like wild costumes,
Yes. That's a good
and
bit.
it becomes evident to him that that this show on the dark web is a comedy. People are
Yes.
laughing, and he's like,
Hmm.
people are laughing while they're trying to kill me. He was like, yeah, well, that's why everybody's dressed in these goofy outfits. And of course, every time he sees an assassin, he comes, yelling, "Oh, there's a cowboy coming to kill me, or a sumo wrestler,"
Yes.
or and nobody believes him. So yeah, it's fun, fun take on the genre. A very light-hearted take on it. But yeah, something that I didn't think many people had seen. So I wanted to include that in the discussion.
I'm glad you did. Yeah. And it's interesting because I kept seeing people compare it to the game, but the deal with the game is he doesn't really have a good idea of what the game is or like what he's doing. He thought it
Mm-hmm.
was like racquetball lessons, or he had no clue really when he went to the place CRS in
Yeah,
David Fincher's The Game. Whereas this, even though we don't have the minutia, the big rules as much as we do in Hunger Games, what's good is he's like a participant and willing. He isn't the victim. Like he chooses to go through this. And it really does become a relationship comment. A lot of people, in his age brackets and indie filmmakers will make a relationship movie to start with, but he took a total left turn with this, and I think that's really clever. There was a review in Variety that described it as a silly and frequently surprising why we need people parable, and that's basically what it is. Like you said, he just wants people to hang out, and it's a good, metaphor for like, you have to hang out with me, but yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and it came out 2023, so I think probably was percolating, and the whole COVID pandemic,
Yes. Oh,
is its
that's
own
totally.
genre, and I
Yeah.
think this is probably counts as a COVID movie in that it's, as you said, it's about you need people in your life, you need to see people and be
Yeah.
around people, and that's uh, it's an important thing. So, another little subgenre that it belongs to, I think.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. A couple things I learned about it was Jake Johnson first pitched it to Netflix as far back as 2017, was going to call it
Oh,
Dog Delusions of Grandeur, which he likened to Jacob's Ladder meets Bottle Rocket. But you're right. He wrote the script for this incarnation of it during COVID-19. Filming took place in 19 days. It premiered at South by Southwest in 2023. Hulu through Neon. Was the like Neon distributed it at the AMC theaters, a couple of them, and Hulu broadcast it on January 12th, 2024. So I actually saw it on Hulu, and I would recommend that you seek it out there. Right now, what's scary is sometimes these movies that get made for services, you're like, yay, I'm Your Woman is still on Prime or whatever it is. But some of them fall off these services and there's
Yeah.
no physical releases. So yes, check out Self-Reliance. I think it'll be a fun watch. Yeah.
Did you see, I I did not get around to it. I would have if I thought I had more time, but I ran out of time preparing for this
Oh, no
episode. I'm
problem.
sorry, but I wanted to see Raise with Zoe Bell. Did you
I
see
did
that
see
one?
that. I think I might have reviewed it, but watch, people are going to go track down my old review now. But I think I did. I remember it's not great, not stellar, but it's
Hmm.
entertaining.
It's
And
entertaining.
I mean, I love Zoe Bell. So, I do think that one was an entertaining one. Yeah.
What
Mhm.
about the recent The Long Walk from last year? Did you see that
Oh, I
one?
did see that. My hilarious story is I saw that on a first date.
Oh,
Yes, I went with, it was, I had suggested 2001. This guy, really nice guy, a little younger than me, and he had not seen 2001. But then when it was starting and the fact that it was like 3 hours, it was like, no, we're not doing that. And
uh,
so it was, I don't know why in my head, I thought there were more twists than what it turned out to be. And
I have
so
not seen it. Yeah.
I was just like, let's go to oh my God. I mean, we laugh about it now and we went to go see, one battle after another and stuff later and he's a nice guy. But it was definitely, yeah, not a choice for I tell people that and they're like, were you testing him? I'm like, no.
Oh,
Yeah. But
that's
it was
funny.
really well done. Mark Hamill is great. And I really thought Cooper Hoffman, the actors in it are phenomenal. Yeah.
Um, if I'm not mistaken, that's another one that's
Yes,
like a public
it is.
populist one. That's another popular entertainment one. Is that
Yes, I
yeah.
believe so. I don't remember yeah.
Okay.
Oof. It's intense. Yeah.
Couple others I wanted to mention that I forgot to earlier when you asked me to, where Paul Bartel's Death Race 2000 is a classic
Okay.
of the
Yeah.
genre. I mean, the Jason Statham Death Race movies are, I don't know if they even credit Death Race 2000 as inspiration, but they're pretty different. They're both auto race movies, but in Death
Hmm.
Race 2000, you get it's a cross country race, and the drivers get points for like killing pedestrians and things like that. So it's a fun one. Someday someone is going to let me talk about Andy Sedaris films on a podcast, but Andy Sedaris did one of his films, Do or Die from 1991, it counts as a Game of Death movie. If you're familiar at all with Andy Sedaris, he makes action movies starring Playboy playmates, and they're all just kind of they're they're so cheesy, just like
It's a new Beverly night waiting to happen. Yeah.
every 5 minutes they got to take a shower
You
or
bet. I
go
mean, that's just
swimming
normal, right?
or
They
change
probably
out
live
of,
in Phoenix, Jed.
right.
They have to.
Well, they live in Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii is a big thing to the Andy Sedaris films, but in Do or Die, they're secret agents. These two women, Donna Spear and Roberta Vasquez, are the playmates who are secret agents, and Pat Morita plays their longtime nemesis, Kane. Even though this is the first of the movies that Roberta Vasquez is in, I think. Donna Spear has been in all of them leading up to this, but her counterpart quit, and now
Okay.
Roberta Vasquez is joined as a different character. But supposedly they have a long history with this Pat Morita Kane character, who this is
Okay.
also his first appearance in it. But Kane says he has hired teams of assassins to come
Oh,
every two
wow.
hours. Every 2 hours, another team of assassins is coming to Hawaii to kill them. Um, and he lets them know. So there are rules. He lets them
Okay.
know every 2 hours there's going to be another set. And yeah, so the whole movie is just, in between showers and
As one
massages
does.
and
Yeah.
things like that. They got to fight, fight assassin teams. And so, yeah, someday somebody let me talk long about Andy Sedaris films. That
He
would be
is throwing
great.
down the gauntlet. Invite Jed. What you were saying was reminding me of the movie Friday Foster with Pam Grier,
Oh
where
yeah.
one of her like best friend characters gets killed right in front of her, I think. And in the next scene, she's like taking a shower for no reason and like smiling. And it's so crazy. It's like the old people in Mulholland Drive. Like, why is
Yeah.
she smiling that big while she's taking a shower? She's like
I can
filming a
tell you the
shampoo
reason.
commercial. Yeah.
I can tell you the reason she's taking a shower, but I think I'm the reason she is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, a film from 2001 I never hear talked about, a Spanish film called Intacto. Did you ever see that?
That does sound familiar. Yes.
It's a wild premise. It's
Okay.
about people all over the world bet on these games that are games of luck, and
Okay.
they find contestants who are lucky. They find that luck is
Gotcha.
like kind of like a
Yeah.
superpower. And so there's this really kind of stunning image of people, just a
Yeah, I
dozen,
think that
dozen
does sound
people
familiar.
maybe
Hmm.
who are blindfolded and have their hands tied behind their backs, just running full speed ahead through a forest, and they
Hmm.
keep running into trees and, falling off cliffs and things like that. But the last one running wins that contest.
Did you ever
And,
see? Oh, go for it.
no, it's a really pretty unique, take on the game of death genre.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, did you ever see, it's probably a movie again, like three people saw called Free Runner, which was about
No,
parkour.
no,
Oh my gosh, I think you would enjoy it, Jed. It's
I
cheesy, but it's actually pretty entertaining. It's like a parkour through the city. I think there's like a bomb around their neck or something. I remember having to review it. It's just basically an excuse to watch these guys do parkour.
that
Um, but I do remember that one. Yeah.
I I see that I have seen this. Yes,
There you go.
I think you recommended it to me when we were doing extreme sports movies.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a title that is a little forgettable. So,
It is. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I see. I logged that in August 31st, 2021.
We're just
So,
throwing them out to everyone. Hope you guys
yeah,
are listening with a notebook. Yeah.
that is in the extreme sports crime thrillers list there. So,
That episode lives on. It's a crossover. And this will be a crossover too with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And, I'm sure we're going to be talking about Running Man and some of these
mhm.
as well. So I can't wait for that. But Jed, thank you so much for doing this. Were there any others you wanted to bring up before I let you go?
Oh, probably once you let me go, I'll think of oh, you know what? The 10th Victim needs to be, it's
Okay.
an older one from 1965. It's a Italian movie with Marcello Mastroianni and Ursula
Okay.
Andress. Um, Elio Petri directed, and it very 60s, it almost looks like parody, Austin Powers type parody, but it is, just wild set design, and it's a slightly futuristic film. So, they really went crazy with the costumes and things like that. But, Yeah, it's another one where kind of like The Purge, where
Okay.
this game of death is sponsored by governments all over the world, basically,
Oh, wow.
as a release for violent tendencies, rather
Didn't
than
see that.
going to war and things like that. You
Hmm.
can enter enter this contest that takes place all over the world. And so in the 10th victim, Ursula Andress is hunting Marcello Mastroianni, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good one.
Yeah, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it. And also thanks for recommending Self-Reliance. And I
Yeah.
have to say off air, Jed's like, oh, I don't know if I'm prepared enough. Jed, you're always prepared. What are you talking about? This was a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me. I really enjoy coming on your show. Thanks for giving me a place to talk about stupid shit.
Anytime.
I also want to thank everyone for listening, especially my patrons who support the show and help fund my research, equipment, film rentals, RSS fees, and more for as little as $1 per month at the Film Intuition Patreon, which is the home base for the show. Other ways you can support the podcast are by sharing, reviewing, and subscribing to Watch with Jen wherever you get your podcasts, and also checking out the cool merch store hosted and created by our talented logo designer, Kate Gabrielle. You can find the merchandise store, including shirts, tote bags, stickers, and more by visiting filmintuition.com and clicking on the shop link. The show's theme music is solo acoustic guitar by Jason Shaw and is available in the free music archive. Well, until next time, please take care and happy movie watching. This is Jen Johans at filmintuition.com and Film Intuition on social media and Letterboxd. And this is Watch with Jen.